Bedtime Stories with CrispySkates. Once again, we are reading The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. Eventually, we're going to move this over to the other channel and start doing our evening readings there. It just makes more sense. All right, let's pick up where we got left off. Okay. Then shall I know you're enjoying yourself instead of sitting there idle, looking at scenery and yawning your head off. Here, you let me steer, said Toad, now thoroughly fondered, and you can get on with your washing your own way. I might spoil your things or not do 'em like you like. I'm more used to gentlemen's things myself. It's a special line. Let you steer? Replied the barge woman, laughing. It takes some practice to steer a large barge properly. Besides, it's dull work, and I want you to be happy. No, you shall do the washing yourself that you're so fond of, and I'll stick to steering and the understanding of it. Don't try and deprive me of this pleasure of giving you a treat. The Toad fairly cornered. He looked for an escape this way and that, and he saw that there was far too many from the blank for a flying leap, and sullenly resigned himself to fate. If it comes to that, he thought in desperation, I suppose any fool can wash. He fetched the tub, soap, and other necessities from the cabin, and selected a few garments at random, tried to recollect what he had, and seen casual glances through the laundry windows, and to set. A long half-hour passed, and every minute of it Toad saw was getting crosser and crosser, noting that he could not do the things he seemed to do pleasure them or to do them good. He tried coaxing, he tried slapping, he tried punching, and they smiled back at him, and out of the tub, unconverted, happy in their original sin, was, or once or twice, looked up nervously his shoulder at the barge woman, but she appeared to be gazing out in front of her. Absorbed in her seeing, his back ached badly, and he noticed with dismay that his paws were beginning to get all crinkly. Now Toad was very proud of his paws, he muttered under his breath, words that should never pass the lips of either a washerwoman or Toads, and lost the soap for the 15th time. A burst of laughter made him straighten himself and look around. The barge woman was leaning back and laughing unretainably till the tears ran down her cheeks. I've been watching you the whole time, she gasped. I thought you'd be humbug all by now. And from a long, conceited way, I talked. Pretty washerwoman you are. Never washed so much as a dishcloth, have you? I'll lay. Toad's temper, which had been simmering viciously for some time now, fairly boiled over, and he lost control of himself. Hi, Madison. I do remember you. Girl, let me tell you, I made that video. How are you? I will make you a better one. But everybody, it's Madison Malone. The most beautiful name. Welcome. Welcome back. Where were we? I'm so sorry. Okay. You common, low, fat barge woman, he shouted. Don't you dare talk to me. You better like that. Washerwoman indeed. I would have had known that Toad as very well known as respected and distinguished as him. I may be under a bit of a cloud at present, but I will not be laughed at by a barge woman. I'm doing well, thank you. It's so nice to see you back. It's been a lot of learning, but we just keep trucking along. That's what you gotta do. Pick it up and move it on, right? That's where we're at, Miss Madison. The woman moved nearer to him and peered under his bonnet, keenly and closely. Why, so you are, she cried. Well, I never. A horrid, nasty, crawly old toad, and in a mice-clean barge, too. Now that is a thing that I will not have. She relinquished the triller for a moment in one mottled arm and caught Toad by a foreleg, while the other gripped him fast by the hinge. Then the world turned suddenly upside down. Miss Madison, welcome back, by the way. I'm glad to see you. Thanks for stopping in. The barge seemed to fit lightly across the sky. The wind whistled in the ears. The Toad found himself flying through the air, revolving rapidly as he went. The water, when he eventually reached it with a loud splash, proved quite cold enough for his taste, though its chill was not sufficient to quell his proud spirit or slake his heart-furious temper. He rose to the surface sputtering, and when he wiped the duckweed out of his eyes, the first thing that he saw was a fat barge woman looking back at him, and the stern reacting barge laughing, and he vowed as he coughed and choked to even be with her. I could fall asleep right. Aw, thank you. That's so sweet. Hopefully this guy next to me does. He's 8. I'm trying to get him to go to sleep. Thank you. He struck out for the shore, but the cotton grown greatly impelled his efforts, and at length he touched and landed and found it hard to climb up the steep bank unassisted. He had to take a minute or two rest to recover his breath, then gathering his wet skirts well over his arms, he started to run after the barge as fast as his legs would carry him. Wild and indignation thrusting for revenge, the barge woman was still laughing when she drew up the level with her. Put yourself through the mingle, you washerwoman, she called out, and iron your face and crimp it, and you'll pass for quite a decent-looking toad. Toad never paused for a reply. Solid revenge is what he wanted, not cheap, windy verbal triumphants, though he had nothing but a thing or two in his mind that he would have liked to have said. He saw he wanted ahead of him, running swiftly on and overtook the horse, unfastened the tow rope and cast off, jumped lightly off the horse's back and urged it to gallop by kicking it vigorously in the sides and steered open for the country, abandoning the tow path. The swinging he steered down Rutley Lane. Once he took hack, the saw barge had aground other the side of the canal. The barge woman was gilletlessly, wildly shouting, "Stop, stop, stop! I've heard that song before," said the toad, laughing, as he continued to spur the steed onward in its wild career. The barge horse was not capable of any sustained effort, and its gallop soon subsided into a trot, and its trot into an easy walk. But the toad was quite contented with this, knowing that he, at any rate, was moving, and the barge was not. And he quite recovered his temper now that he had done something that thought really clever, and he was satisfied to jog along quietly in the sun, steering his horse along the way of the bridle with the paths, trying to forget the very long it was since it had been since the quail meal and the teal of the canal had been left behind him. All right, you guys, I have a little sleeper. Until tomorrow night, we'll pick back up. Thank you so much for joining. Sweet dreams, Mallory Malone. Aw, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Keep it crispy.